Major League Rugby hits the nation's capital as Old Glory hosts Rugby ATL for CBS Sports Game of the Week. 3 wins in a row for Old Glory has their fans in a fever pitch. But snapping at their heels, it's Rugby ATL who've come to town looking for a big win. As we take a look at the standings, just 3 points separating both the sides coming in tonight's match. A win of the utmost importance as their chase for the finals later this year continues. A very warm welcome to Washington, DC. Dan Powell with you alongside former USA head coach Mike Tolkien. And Tolks, both these sides, their appearance the same, but the DNA of their fabric vastly different.
Yeah, Dan. Atlanta rely on a very big kicking game and from strong defense. They use the kicking game to get downfield and apply territorial pressure and a strong, aggressive defense to shut out their opponent. They lead the league in dominant tackles, in meters kicked, in kicks made, and have let up the least amount of points. As for Old Glory, they are intent in running the ball and use an effective backline and an effective support network to support their game and apply pressure to the opposition. So look for them and Jason Robertson to apply pressure.
Yeah, also assisting him will be Mungo Mason, who's down on the field now with the third member of our side, the one and only Stacey Pates.
With one of the team captains of Old Glory, Mungo Mason, joining us now. And when you think about the overall look of this team, what word would you attach to you guys in terms of identity?
I'd say cohesive. We're really sort of a bunch of no individuals. We're all team players. Yeah, really just strong franchise, I suppose. No one's above the team. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but we took on what sort of Kobe Bryant used to say, and yeah, we're all part of one team, and we're not going to go anywhere unless we're fairly cohesive. Is probably the word. Yeah.
Big game for Mungo tonight as we take a look at the 14 other gentlemen who'll be starting with him, Tolks.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a strong game, but we're looking at Jason Robertson to lead the way. He's a 3-weapon attacker. He can kick, he can run, he can set up his teammates for scores. Should be a good one.
For Rugby ATL, a different looking lineup. Defense is the key to their victory tonight as we take a look at Coach Douglas there for Old Glory.
Yeah, they like to kick the ball downfield and rely on that strong physical defense, which is top in the MLR. And also at 10 for them, Kurt Coleman does it in a different way than Robertson does.
You know, 2 of the most talented fly halves will be wearing the 10 shirts for both sides tonight. It's Rugby ATL taking on Old Glory here at Cardinal Stadium in the nation's capital, Washington, DC. Sunday night footy coming your way on CBS Sports. Referee is Derek Summers. He'll have the whistle tonight. And these two sides, Tolks, you were actually there in the preseason. No strangers to each other. And it got rather hostile in their preseason game just a few months ago.
It did. Played underneath the roof down at St. James Park.
And we're underway here for this Week 5 clash. The Old Glory on the right, left of your screen, wearing the dark blue jerseys. Rugby ATL on the right, defending first as Tusitala goes with the box kicks, contestable down the middle of the field.
First knock.
And now we get our first look at the scrum, Tolks. It was a point of much discussion coming into this game. Can Old Glory scrum hold up? It's been a little battered, a little beaten over the opening 4 weeks of Major League Rugby. How will it go tonight?
I'll tell you, they did well coming out of Houston and coming out of Austin to get wins out of that, because their scrum did really struggle and hang on. And against a strong Atlanta pack, I think they're going to have similar troubles tonight. So we'll see how it goes here.
Crouch.
They have Young, Will, Whakahali. Obviously the big signing of Tendai Matawira here, fresh off his World Cup victory in Japan in 2019. Misses his 2nd game in a row for Old Glory.
Go again.
Looking to use youth up front tonight.
Yeah, the Beast pinched the nerve down in Texas and only lasted about 20 minutes into that trip. And unfortunately, they won't have him. The fans won't get to see him tonight. And you're right, they do have some youngsters out there tonight that are going to try to hold up this front row.
Crouch. Bind. Set. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ben Skolfake
Feeds this for ATL as they march this scrum downfield. Positive sign early on for Rugby ATL. Just 2 minutes into this game, already in control of one aspect of the set piece here, the scrum, but a very important one.
Well, Old Glory is the most penalized team in the league, and you know it started in the first couple of minutes today, Dan, and that doesn't bode well. And immediately Atlanta is going to have advantage, and they actually last week were very strong in their driving maul, so I expect to see more of that.
Coleman finds the line inside the 22. Had the line out. Got some big targets in there.
It's the yellow, yeah.
Billy Helu, St. Mary's product.
Just get in the middle, yeah.
Mompson 6'5". That's where they elect to go. Here's the maul that you talked about, Tolks. Let's see if they can get this rolling down. Downhill, preferably. Second penalty in a row. And again, like you said, most penalised team in the league. Discipline. They escape Houston and escape Austin with late wins down there. Rugby ATL, one of the more disciplined sides, though.
And this is exactly Coach Douglas's worst fear. You know, immediately and methodically downfield, picking up penalties, and if more come on, you know, there's always a risk of a yellow card.
This time, Mompson. They roll, they spin off. They're at the line, very close. Penalty tries, the opening score for Rugby ATL. 3 infringements in a row from Old Glory. 7 points go on the board immediately.
Penalty try.
And if Coach Douglas was a little bit concerned before Tolks, now he's got to be very concerned. Just 3.5 minutes into this game.
Well, his worst fears got realized on that one, and pretty much everyone saw it unfolding in front of us.
Yes.
Now the question is, if that goes on all night.
It's a 9. It's a yellow card. You're off the field. Wow. They have to be back. They have 30 seconds. You can't do that.
And also, Danny Tula gets a yellow card as well for that infraction that led to the penalty try. He looks a little bemused about that decision, but
okay.
4 minutes in, penalty try, down to 14. Deep restart. Comes down to Van Skolkvik. That's Xander. Duncan at 9, Xander on the wing. Life University, well represented with Rugby ATL.
Now, let it come, Blue.
Fourth penalty.
You gotta let it happen.
Well, Tolks coached for a long time.
Gotta get out of the way.
You're handling this Old Glory side. What's the message? You're getting down to the sideline immediately.
The first thing is that, you know, no matter how hard it is, they have to try to be more disciplined in the tackle area. You know, if they're having their troubles in the set piece, they can avoid it in the open field play, and those are the penalties that they can't continue to add on.
There you just saw the Tusituli yellow card.
Yeah.
And losing Tusitala for them is tough for 10 minutes. He's such a spark plug to this team.
I'll get him over, okay? What did I say before the game?
They go to Mompson again. Coleman, little chip over the top. Bounce to the ball, sits up for Palamo. He goes wide now. That's O'Donnell. I was mentioning you before the game as O'Donnell was warming up. Couldn't believe he was a winger, Tolks. Big boy up there on that right wing for Old Glory. As Fiona Schultz serves it up. And again, big run right over the top of Helu, and he's got up a little dusty, Billy Helu, from that one. So keep it in tight. That's Robertson. He stepped into the scrum half position here with Tusitala into the yellow card sin bin. They come back into the pocket.
Get out, good.
Buckle high. Now comes down again.
Tackle now, let go, tackle, Dwayne, let go.
No, Appy,
On the ground.
Nakatani here tonight for Old Glory. Now a penalty within kickable range here, but already down 7 points to 0. Not surprised if they put this one into the corner.
That's still, it's early days, Dan. You know, I wouldn't be surprised there, but you can kill off some time, you know, by taking this penalty kick and get 3 points on the board. So I think it's probably a wise decision here. And I think there was a really great example of how DC's been living this season so far. They've had troubles in the set piece, they're getting penalized, they get a yellow card, but that little kick that they collected and turned into a counterattack, possession, gain a penalty. That's how they put pressure onto teams.
Well, Rugby ATL head coach Scott Lawrence said doesn't believe there's a better side in Major League Rugby at the moment who converts pressure into points than Old Glory. You get an example right here as Robinson will put this penalty over. Flags are up, 7 points to 3. The home side, they strike back with a penalty.
And here we see the high tackle right there. Pretty easy call on that one. And like you said, Dan, it's Robertson who is leading the league in points, and there he converted that pressure.
Coleman high. Nakwali.
Advantage, locks forward.
Doesn't bring that one down cleanly. Now the turnover, down the blind side goes the missile, back inside. Well, folks, you can rev the throttle right now because Harley Davidson, he has arrived. Another try. This one is going end to end early on between these two sides.
Dan, they really made quick work of that. You know, a little mess up on the kickoff there by Old Glory. Bang, Atlanta was quick to pounce on that.
Another one of these Life University products, Harley Davidson. If he's not in your top 10 rugby names in World Rugby, and then that's an interesting list.
But he sure gets his hand on the ball a lot. He knows what to do with it when he does.
You see the missile. Missilanalu, what a revelation. He's been bounced around with a few sides, really found a home here at Rugby ATL. Sets up his winger. That's what you want from a good 13.
Yeah, and the thing about the missile is that he has been playing more wing, but until this year, where he's primarily played 13, and he penetrates and he sets up his attackers and supporters.
He's done a lot of work with one of your former players, Tolks, in Nesse Malifa. One of the assistant coaches really worked on his basic skill game down there. Catch pass, and very impressed with this number 13 for Rugby ATL. Conversion right through the middle. 14 points to 3, just under 10 gone here at Cardinal Stadium.
You know, and if this wasn't the start that Coach Douglas wanted, it is the start that Coach Lawrence wanted.
Robinson goes deep. Coleman fields inside his 22. Try to centralize things with Ross Deacon.
Lead blue.
Former Rooney player.
Hold it, hold it.
Comes down I-95 to Atlanta.
Stop, Martin, stop.
Now Coleman with the clearing kick. Just outside his own 22. Another opportunity here for Old Glory.
Yeah, and just going back to Ross Deacon, he runs angry. He's low to the ground. He's a strong runner and good footwork, and he's the guy you want with the ball in his hands.
Hold on. What was it said? I said use the line. Just use the line. Stay here. Let's go, Blue.
So Cindy Fianoi with the throw. Stolen though.
Step it in.
He's got them for stepping in there. That's something they've been very strict on the last couple of weeks, Tolks, is officiating at the line out, especially keeping that tunnel.
Yeah, and it's really important, you know, that you police that well. And here we'll see if Old Glory can capitalize again by taking this turnover and turning it into points.
Larson, the Canadian. He takes the first touch. Nakwali just outside the 22 as Robinson moves to his right. Short, inside, outside. Sits down for Fraser. Plenty of Canadian flair here for Old Glory. Bakalahi. Short, Turnbull. Plays it back, Robinson. Short ball, looks for O'Donnell. Offload, beautiful stuff out the back. No advantage.
He doesn't have the ball. Doesn't have the ball. Penalty here.
Just a penalty coming. You hear one of the players asking for a yellow card there, just to balance the ledger, I'm sure.
Yes, okay.
You have to think another 3 points. And like you said, probably more tactical here.
Settle down,
Mike,
right?
just taking more time off that yellow card.
Absolutely. You know, get points on the board, take time off the clock, and play out that yellow card. And I think that's the plan for Old Glory here. And you know what? They're under early pressure, but I think that what they want to do is keep it close until they can get their rhythm.
It's all good.
Play more in their end and get their full complement back.
Let's jump down to the sideline. Stacey Pates, what do you got for us, Stace?
Well, the T is not silent in Tendai, and this guy is not silent when he's on the pitch. Of course, he's out with injury now, and when you watch your team, Tendai, what are some things that you're seeing? Some penalties early on. How can they clean that up?
Yeah, I think obviously not a good start by us. You know, we're obviously making a lot of errors, and I think set piece time. We know we're not getting the dominance, but I think it's something that we can get back in the game. And so probably about 60 minutes to go, so we can work our way back.
The most capped forward in the history of the Springboks, fresh off a championship title when you were in Japan. That is absolutely incredible with the World Cup. Describe your experience there, and then coming to the MLR, what are you seeing with this franchise?
Yeah, and I think obviously, an amazing experience last year winning the World Cup in Japan. I think the pinnacle of my career. So, you know, the reason why I decided to come to Old Glory here in DC is because I want to grow the game in the States, and I want to be, you know, one of the catalysts to get the game up there. So, yeah, you know, it's exciting, you know, to see the league, you know, get better and better every season. I've actually kept a close eye, you know, from South Africa. I've watched a few games over the last few years. So now, you know, to be surreal. So I just want to add value and help the game in the States.
I love that so much. You're one of a few international players that have come over and lended your name, because internationally you are known and beloved. And to look at the MLR and to know that you have a place here and you can make it better, that means so much to the game.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a massive honor. And I've been very fortunate to play at the highest level for so long. And obviously I've got a wealth of experience. So I just want to impart that knowledge that I've gained from the game to these guys and help the league, you know, to be competitive. And hopefully USA Rugby is going to be a powerhouse, you know, in the near future. Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit too. Whenever you're talking to your teammates and they know your experience and they draw from your wisdom, do you find them really locking into what you say? Do you feel like they make you feel like a bigger superstar than you consider yourself to be?
Yeah, I think for me it kind of humbles me, you know, to be in my shoes, you know, to be you know, at this stage considered as a very senior player. So I just, you know, yeah, the boys obviously listen when I speak, you know. So I always try and add value. I'm not the loudest guy when I'm on the field, but I've always tried to lead by example, you know. But I guess now I have to kind of share my experiences more and more with them, you know, and that's the best way to learn as well.
When will you be back?
I'm hoping that's going to be San Diego in 2 weeks' time, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very good. Well, we look forward to having you. And this is such a family, the rugby community. Welcome to the MLR family.
No, thank you so much. Good to be here.
Thank you.
Well, an absolute legend, a champion, one of the best to ever do it, and Tendai Matawira as well.
I tell you, fantastic to hear his thoughts on it. And he's so enthusiastic about being in this community and helping out and grow American rugby. Couldn't have a better guy here.
Good pictures. Continue that, okay? Yeah? Yeah? Here we go, right here.
Tusitala back on as Old Glory return to a full contingent of 15 here. 14 points to 6.
I think they're fortunate to have two veteran centers. You know, Kieran Hearn, Threaten Palamo, while Robertson has to go to 9, so they can continue on as playmakers without losing a beat. But let's see what they do with the full complement.
Fine. Boys, don't mess around.
Fiona Schultz now. Well, different reception this time for Fiona Schultz, as Matt Heaton introduces him into the Cardinal Stadium turf. Robinson to Threaten Palamo. Robinson under pressure, forced back there. A little juggle. Wengluski got up on him very quickly. Tusitala, O'Donnell beats one, beats a second O'Donnell. Then Skolkwait comes across as they bundle him over the sideline, but a great run there from Declan O'Donnell.
Yeah, since he's come on a couple of weeks ago, he's really made his mark. He's a line breaker. He breaks tackles. He sets people up for scores. He can do it all. He's a very talented footballer.
Travis, right here. Travis. Yeah.
You can see just slipping in between two players. It looked like Momsen there just got caught a little flat-footed. 6'5", doesn't have the quickest feet to get in a position to make that tackle. The more fleet-footed O'Donnell takes that opportunity on his outside shoulder. As Coleman comes back, Talapusi, big right boot, finds DTS. The footwork, some of the best you'll ever see. Tusitala, Fana Schultz, another carry. The man from Ipswich Grammar. With the Sabercats last year, O'Donnell again. He likes some work, doesn't he, O'Donnell? He's come off that wing a lot.
You know, Dan, there's perpetual motion by this guy. He's on the left wing, the right wing, spinning out of tackles, getting his hands on the ball from 9. So he really gets value for Old Glory on the field.
Both him and Fraser bounce around. I'm scared to call one the left or the right wing because they never seem to pop up in that part of the field.
That's a great point. You know, a good wing should be working off the ball constantly.
Just outside the 22, they'll have this line out.
Line, yeah?
I think one of the things that Scott Lawrence and Atlanta were concerned about was the edge play of Old Glory and how dangerous they were with their backs on the edge. And they really wanted to do a job defending that today.
Oh, very nicely played at the back for Fiona Schultz. Pass doesn't go to hand as now we have a little deflection. The missile goes forward. Well, you talk about some transition play. Whoever can get a hold of that ball would have scored their tops.
I think so. There was a lot of real estate in that unorganized defense there. Each team would bounce away from going the distance.
Look at this beautiful overthrow. That's a planned move, folks, to Fiona Schultz. That pass doesn't go to hand, and here's where it gets chaotic. Any point, someone just grabs that ball without knocking it on. It's try time.
And here Old Glory have a very good attacking platform, middle of the field. So go either way with it. Let's see what they decide to do. There's 2 dangerous runners on each side of that.
Crouch! Fine! Good gap, good gap. Set! 2, 3, 4.
They get that out very quickly. Fiona Schultz to Zitala, quick hands, DTS. He dances down that far touchline.
Advantage 4.
Now they come in again, Robinson. Oh, big bumping run from Turnbull as he puts Alex Morn into the turf.
Advantage, you got it.
Kisosini wearing the newly approved optical goggles.
Couple of players, 4, 3.
I think he's seeing things a little better.
Yeah, one of very few players that have opted for that.
Yeah, you don't see it too often. You're right about that, Dan. And you know, he feels more comfortable wearing them. He alluded to.
What are we doing? Shot a goal. Shot a goal. Hey, Matt, that's just a couple of the breakdown under pressure.
Jason
right,
Robertson is kicking today. No surprise they elect for 3 more points here.
Get onside, yeah.
No, and again, probably the right thing to do, chip away at this lead. You know, Atlanta got off to a real quick start on the road. They were happy about that. But again, Old Glory doing their best to stay in and put pressure on. Chip away with points.
A little bit better from you boys. You don't get to yell gap at me when the gap is like 3 meters, okay? All right, it's all good. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all right, it's all good.
No mistakes from Robinson. It's 14 points to 9. 2 tries for Rugby ATL on the road. 3 penalties for the home side. Old Glory. We'll take a short break. When we return, the action continues from Cardinal Stadium in Washington, D.C.
Major League Rugby on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Glory. Visit oldglorydc.com to buy your tickets today. And by Iron Vine, driven by purpose to solve the toughest security challenges so you can stay at the top of your game.
It is a gorgeous night for rugby, and the home team, Old Glory, is coming back on the board. It's 14-9 right now, off to a little bit of a slow start, but the crowd is here and they are excited to see their team play. It's also International Women's Day, so we are happy to have you with us. And joining us now, retired Eagle number 80, this is Nancy Fitz, and she's being honored at halftime. We can't wait to hear more about this, the first ever recipient of the With Her Award, and it's dedicated to those that do a lot for the sport of rugby, growing it, getting women and girls more involved. It's about dedication, perseverance, and you certainly stand for all of those things. Talk to us about when you were first told about this award.
It's quite an honor. I mean, Old Glory's been doing such a great job of getting out in the community, and just to be honored with this for the first time is I was surprised. I was very surprised.
Well, and that's another reason that you're the person behind the award, because you're very laced with humility. Talk about getting more women and girls involved in the sport of rugby.
Well, it's such a fun sport, and so the key is getting girls exposed to it at a young age, and it's starting to grow in the youth ages. It's just such a fun sport, so we just got to give people a chance.
Well, I was easy to get involved and love this sport, so I know that you'll have continued success in that. And when you think about the success that you had with USA, with the Eagles, how do you instill the work ethic that you provided your teams into the team now? Because as head coach of CGU as of January, talk about that.
I think so much of that just has to come from the individual players. I see my role as giving them a platform to be able to do it, and an opportunity to play at a higher level. So I think so much of that's just intrinsic in a person.
Watching the MLR grow and having a team here, it's their first year for Old Glory. Very exciting to watch the MLR continue to grow. What does that mean for the sport overall, and how does that trickle down into the women's game?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the tailgate it's mixed men's and women's. There's kids, there's people of all ages. So I think that's a testament to what rugby is and who it appeals to, but also that Old Glory's gone out and reached all those groups.
Well, they've definitely got a great fan base here, so we're excited to see what Old Glory can do the rest of this match. Thank you so much. Congratulations, the first ever recipient of the With Her Award on International Women's Day, Nancy Fitz. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the game.
I will.
Yeah, thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Nancy, and happy International Women's Day to all the amazing women out there. Of course, you and I talks. My wife Jenna, daughter Charlotte, my mum Gail. You've probably got a couple of amazing women in your life as well.
Wife Emily, absolutely. And it's a great day to have and celebrate the women in rugby.
Yeah, it's the growth in the women's game in particular in the last probably decade, Talks, has just been outstanding. I mean, we're starting to see professional women's comps pop up all over the world, in not just rugby but other sports as well. And
absolutely, and it's going to be a big part of both these teams' growth as they move forward and the game in our country. So it's terrific to have that part of the population growing the game.
About 23 minutes in here, 14 points to 9.
Just use the line, yeah.
To visiting Rugby ATL, who have a 5-point lead. They have this line out down in the 22 of Old Glory. It's been a happy hunting ground thus far down here for them Talks as well.
Yeah, they've had good success. They've converted twice when they've camped down here.
They peel off the back. Comes down to Morn. Big contact comes in. That's a heavy shoulder.
It's just a stand-up tackle. Okay.
He's got him for a high shot there. Maybe a little bit hard done by.
Yep, and I think we'll see it here, Dan. Well, very borderline, but it happens. It happens so fast, and you see a shoulder slide up, and the referee sees that in an instant, and he makes the call.
Else. I'm not sure. We're getting
there you
feedback
see.
from
Good look at those goggles.
Somebody.
Usually see those post-match after the World Series or the post-match locker room celebrations. He's ahead of the curve. I love it.
He's getting ready for that celebration, but I don't know how quickly it'll be coming.
Now Coleman. 1 from 1 today. converted the Davidson try. His first shot at penalty just inside the 22 here to the right of the upright. Looks really good off the tee. Flags are up. They extend 17 points to 9.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a game of penalties so far. Each team getting points, penalties, whether it's a driving ball from penalty,
Not the moment.
penalty kicks. And I think the only other try came from a botched line-out, kickoff, sorry, a restart.
And Skolvik brings it down.
Yeah, get onside. Mungo, back up.
Finds Deacon. They go back into the pocket as Coleman will clear.
Matt.
Good strike all the way to the halfway line. Takata Simpson. They'll counter. O'Donnell steps. A little half gap opens up as he's picked up and driven into the turf. They go quick again. That's B to say. Returns from injury. That one lost by Robertson forward.
Knock on blue. Knock on blue. Blue first. Knock. And then another knock.
We'll have the two knock-ons come back for the scrum.
Or
Little extracurricular after that, though. The crowd not happy.
Now, I think Derek Sumner's got it right there. Help from his touch judge. Yeah, he did get it right. Strong tackle on Declan O'Donnell there. He's not an easy man to take down first up. You know, and hey, he did play All Black Sevens. He played for Sir Gordon Teachins, so he knows one speed.
He knows the way around a weight room too, by the look of him, Tolks. He's a big boy.
I think a few years back he would be in that front row or in that back row.
Yeah.
Bind.
Stay in the scrum, stay in the fight.
Set.
And Skolvik. As Deacon has this ball to back. Another penalty goes the way of Rugby ATL.
You're going backwards and you're walking out.
Not as dominant on the push that time, but still earned the penalty.
Yeah, and what the referee's calling there is they were going back, and it's not a penalty for going back, but when they were going back, they started breaking off, and that's when the penalty happens.
Now Will Pakalahai is down as well. That would be a huge loss as we look to the bench. Their front row stock's already very, very slim, Tolks.
Yeah, that's something that they're very difficult to absorb. An already beleaguered front row would be under much more stress.
You'd probably expect Gordon Fullerton to come on. If Pakalahai cannot continue. And it looks as though that has happened. He's come to the bench.
Mikey, all good?
He got caught over the top of himself on that ankle.
Mike.
And you're right, Dan. Gordon Fullerton coming on.
Where are we? We're here on this one? Over. Open up, over. Over. Time on.
A tight head from New Zealand. Also young, just 22 years of age, so the youth in the front row. That one not straight.
Straight.
He is a young fella, and he's had his problems. He is the most penalized prop in the league.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate, but that's just been the way it's been going for Old Glory this season.
And here you see indicative of their problems at the scrum. Tolks are going for a line out instead of the scrum with that not straight throw. Stolen. Beautiful stuff at the top from Mompson. It's now Hello. Spins his way up towards the 22-metre line. Continue to push forward here, Rugby ATL. Then Skolvik. Just the double pump there gave him enough time. Nell under some pressure. Morn. Low grassing tackle comes in from Mason. Oh, and the penalty as well. Who's over the top of that? Is that Fiona Schiltz? It is Fiona Schiltz.
It is, and that's good work. Just as Rugby ATL, we're starting to build up some momentum through the phases there. A big play by Fiona Schiltz. And here we see it. He saw a gap. The support wasn't there, and he's right onto that ball. Good opportunist work for Old Glory there.
And you could see Rugby ATL, just no chance of releasing. As Fiona Schiltz just secures that ball.
Good gap, keep it, okay?
Again, lost at the line out. The set piece continues to haunt Old Glory here. There's Wangluski.
Tackle, get out!
Back to Coleman. Coleman shapes the kick, then passes to Talapusi. Talapusi lets one go. Palamu high. Fraser as well. Bring him to ground.
Really well read by Fraser on that one.
Oh, pressure. Was he offside? No. Coming for the knocker. He really gave that whistle a good toot there, Derek Summers.
He gave it the penalty whistle, just a tad longer than the normal knock-on whistle, but it was in fact a knock-on. I've really been impressed by Momsen. He's stolen some balls here. He's been the lineup man. He is among the leaders in dominant tackles in the league.
New tight head on, okay? Just hold it straight.
Really well-rounded lock,
You've been
really
pushed back
athletic.
a couple of times. We got to stay square.
23-year-old from South Africa, 6'5", 250 pounds. No doubt. The team will be shopping at Costco for a man of that size. You want to buy in bulk.
Crouch! Bind!
Let's see if the addition of Fullerton to the front row steadies the scrum. Goes back, shoots quickly though. Tusitala short to Hearn.
No, he's clear of the way. He's clear of the way. Not rewarding you there.
That's quicker for Tusitala. Now he goes to the line. As Mason spins out of one. Fraser, oh, well read. Kurt Coleman comes off the wing and shut that down. There was trouble brewing. Tolks, you were at that preseason game. The emotions running very high here. Not surprised Derek Summer calls timeout. You can see a lot of little individual skirmishes starting to pop up after the tackle here on the field.
I know you're trying to retreat. He does give you a little contact, but you're still in the way. So I'm going to penalize. I will not yellow card. Any more funny business down here? Okay. Any more of that, and players leave the field. Okay.
And Dan, I think a big part of that is both teams contest the tackle area in the ruck so well. Both of them are among the team leaders in the league in quick ball, and they also slow down the ball the most in the league. So there's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of contact and physicality in there.
As you take a look at the replay, there was a little bit at the breakdown. DTS also with Helu, just a little bit of a running battle.
One of the things in talking before the game with the referee, he told both of us that they really were cracking down on any of the business off the ball and some of the foul play, and across the board the referees have been directed to really make sure that that doesn't get out of hand and become a problem.
Doesn't hit that one well. Flags stay down. Score remains 17 points to 9. We come back to the 22 for a restart.
You don't see that happen too often, Dan. He doesn't miss many of those. Actually leads the league in points scored and in penalty kicks hit.
Coleman drives this one deep. Robinson waits. Here's the counter-attack. Also loves a carry for a 10 as well. Tusitala, flat. Mason spins. Play quick, Schiltz. Turnbull with a quick little tip on there.
Release!
This Rugby ATL defence, it is regarded as one of the best in Major League Rugby. Very rarely do they crack.
Go back, good.
At the back, Robinson, flat pass. Larson flicks back inside.
Come back.
McQuarrie, it's going to be play on though. Now Mason. A true meter eater. They come down Robinson, short side, back inside. Picks up Peterson. Now on the 22 is Old Glory. Mason dummies. The speed that Tusitala gets to the breakdown, impressive. Robinson to the line. Had runners at the back there. They had an overlap. They had 5 on 3. Elects to keep the ball. McQuarrie now. Into the 22, go Old Glory.
Get onside, Ross.
Sossini. That's your set up, looking for quick ball. Robinson. Mason, flat pass. Double pumps Fraser, almost gets through there. Desperation tackle from Nell. As he corrals him into the turf, 10 out from the line. Larson, pass doesn't go to hand, sits up, McQuarrie though! Almost busts through under the post, the big Fijian. Quick hands will do it. O'Donnell, drawing a pass, try in the corner. It is DTS!
What a score. Absolutely fantastic sequence of playing by Old Glory. They should be proud of that. And that is the reason that they've been hanging in there so strongly in the league. When they get the ball down there, they're so difficult to disarm. And when you have a halfback combination like they do, they constantly put you under pressure.
This is where it can almost break down, right, Togs? There's nothing more dangerous in rugby than a ball on the ground. Everyone kind of stops. The player who doesn't is the most dangerous. And beautiful stuff there.
Well, that's it, Dan.
Dangerous combination.
Everyone stops for a half second, you get the bounce, and it works your way.
Dylan Cardinal Simpson, DTS. His first try of the season. What a weapon he was last year for the Colorado Raptors. One of the big off-season acquisitions for Old Glory. So sun sets here over the nation's capital. Robinson will look to convert as we enter towards the halftime break. As a 1-point ball game. Doesn't come back around, stays to the left of the upright, 17-14.
And that's exactly what you were talking about. It's in no man's land, a freeze. McQuarrie takes advantage, little opportunistic work there. And easy score in the corner for Takata Simpson.
Not sure what happened there. Maybe some of the substitution players giving the missile a little cheek. Wasn't having any of it. Ball comes down now. Coleman, tactical kicking. He's brilliant kicker. Takata Simpson drives this low into the sideline.
I think that one flew a little further than Coleman would have wanted. A beautiful reply there from Takata Simpson. So once again, we have Old Glory struggling in the set piece, but being right in the thick of the game. Just very resilient that way.
Well, you know your strengths and you play to them and just try to minimize your weaknesses, I guess, for Old Glory. It's Goldflake, flat pass, Deacon. Built like a Sherman tank, just as effective as well is Deacon. That one again finds DTS on the full. This is where he's dangerous. Fraser looks for a jinking run up to the halfway line. They have numbers to the right if they can go. Robinson inside, McQuarrie. Oh, he looks dangerous, doesn't he, Tolks? McQuarrie, every time he gets near the ball.
There seems to be always a half break when he has his hands on the ball. Very dangerous.
Wouldn't be surprised if DTS picks up on that and starts running off each of those shoulders here in the second half. That man with the ball right there, Dylan Cardinal Simpson.
How did he get out of that jam?
Step in the phone box.
Footwork magic there.
For the younger viewers watching, a phone box used to be something that was on the side of the street. You put a quarter in there, you make a phone call.
You're offside.
You have to change that analogy now, Togs. A new audience coming in.
You're in an offside position.
I think you got to update that one a little bit, but we get the idea of what you're talking about.
Mongo, you guys are setting up walls here. Just be careful with that, all right? Yeah? Okay? Yeah, I got that. I'm aware of it.
You hear the referee talking to
You're just setting up players in front of
Glory.
the ball carrier. When they make contact like that and they create holes, I got to call it, okay? Sweet.
As DC are setting little picks that their players are running behind. Little clever movement, but referee will have none of it.
We all try it, Dogs, don't we? Just until you get caught.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that.
Guys, just careful with that when you're in front, okay?
Line out to the Be more with this throwing. Oh, Deacon, just a little juggle there.
Yeah, I think he may have picked his head up there just for a tick. A little slip out of his hands. Unfortunate because they had good field position there. And maybe could have gotten some points before they went into the change room for halftime.
Well, it is a scrum, so don't get too excited, Old Glory fans.
That's exactly right. I do like on 2 of their scrums in this half.
Yep,
a quick put in, quick channel, 8-pick. Nana Schultz taking it.
Tight on him, okay? Tight on him.
It has to be in and out for them to be effective.
Once again, it's a sign of good coaching. Fencing your weaknesses, limit your weaknesses.
That's exactly right, Dan.
The crowd comes alive here at Cardinal Stadium.
Fine. Set. Push straight.
Yeah, quick again. Shields off the back. Tusitala. Holds it up. Now it's out to O'Donnell. Also some good footwork for the big man there. Plant the back Robertson.
Say that
quick
again.
hands.
Who called that? I can't hear.
Got some numbers. Run it through the hands. Could do well here. Hearn cannot get the arms free. Yet Palamo ranging up on his outside. Robinson. Cardinal Simpson. O'Donnell.
Well, Glory have no intention of going back right into the change room. They're really pressing the issue.
Ball's out. Get out of there. Good, good.
Palamo up towards the halfway line. Robinson through, inside, picks up support, outside, Hearn, Fraser down the sideline, Fraser back inside as he bumps off another one. Now Tusitala wants quick ball, gets it to O'Donnell. Of course O'Donnell's not out in the right wing, he's in the thick of it, that's what he's done all night, O'Donnell, and he continues to.
Got it back.
Long looping pass, Farner Schultz. They've got to come back to the left here. Everyone for Old Glory stacked back up to this left-hand side.
Get onside, get onside!
DTS. Turnbull. He'll select the platform.
Get back, get back!
O'Donnell. Well, he'll just barge his way over. How about that one from Declan O'Donnell, the former Kiwi Sevens international, gets it done. And tempers continue to rise here between these two sides. This is turning into something special here, Togs.
Dan, what another phenomenal try. Most teams would have packed it in deep in their end, playing through multiple phases. Not Old Glory. They had the intent, they had the skill, they had the athletic ability to do it. And they are going to go into the shed leading at halftime. Amazing.
Some of the after stuff, you're inflaming the situation when you do some of that, okay? Just be careful.
Sheer commitment of Declan O'Donnell to put that one down says it all about this impressive young man.
And there is the halftime break. Well, if you would have asked me 10 minutes into this game, Tolks, if I thought it was going to be this close, let alone Old Glory leading wouldn't have thought there was a chance. But that man right there, O'Donnell, he gets the try right in the break that sends them to the sheds in the lead. It's the home side, Old Glory, over Rugby ATL after 40 minutes.
It is International Women's Day here, and we are so happy that you're with us on CBS Sportsnet. I'm Stacey Pates, joined by this amazing woman. It's very perfect that it's International Women's Day because this is Alicia Washington representing the USA on the team of 15 women who are just incredible. We could talk about them all day, but specifically, I want to talk about your foundation, the 15s Foundation. Tell us more about that.
So the mission of the foundation is just to make sure that we are getting diverse revenue for the team that we really need. We have 10 games coming up this year against multiple countries. We just want to make sure the team is taken care of for now and heading into the future.
And you partner with one of your teammates from Women's 15s.
Yes.
What is your why for starting this? Which, by the way, it just started in January, already having some success, and we're going to get you more success before this show is over. Tell us more about your why.
So our why is just to make sure that the girls and women in America that are playing their hearts out and aspire to be on their country have a platform that will push them forward and make sure that the team will be successful, the team is taken care of, their needs are met, so we can get on a podium every year. Whether it's Olympics or World Cup, we'll be on that podium through our community support.
Well, I am definitely going to donate as soon as we're done talking. Absolutely. How can others at home donate to the 15s Foundation?
Check out xvfoundation.com. We're also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out what we're all about. You can set up your monthly donation, your one-time donation, whatever it is. We will appreciate it, and you'll be immediately a part of the rugby community.
Well, I know I'm going to be excited to see you continue to grow and grow and grow. Thank you so much, Alicia, for being part of this halftime event, and we look forward to seeing more of you and the 15 Foundation in the future.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Stay with us. We're going to be back with more right after this great second half action, so don't go anywhere. Of Rugby ATL, Scott Lawrence joining us now, and paying attention to detail is what you do best. What are some things that need more attention going into this next half?
I think we just need to build a bit more continuity. I think we did that early in the game, and there was some pay for us there. We just need to get back to the basics and do the simple things.
Rivalry is something that's coming about between these two franchises. Describe how you temper that emotion and make sure it comes out on the pitch in the ways that you need.
Just stay focused on the plan, stay focused on your job.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very different speech going to the halftime. Scott Lawrence would have had it 10 minutes in, going to the one that he is using right now. As we take a look around the league, Colorado, they ended Toronto's unbeaten run this year, 22-19 on Friday night. NOLA get a win over New England. Seattle, well, they go down to Utah in the 89th minute, 9 minutes into extra time there. And Austin, the Gilgronis, Tolks, they're on the board with a win.
It's been a while, but I'm sure it's sweet, however long it took. Last night they were able to come back from, I think it was 17 points behind, come back for their first win in a long time.
San Diego Rooney just kicked off out there in California. 0-0 is the current score out there. As we take a look at some of the big news coming out, obviously San Diego, they are currently taking on New York, looking to remain the only undefeated team. The Warriors, well, they're up into second place, Talks. 2 wins, a draw and a loss. And then we mentioned already the Arrows, still first in the East, no matter what happens here tonight, but they suffer their first loss on the road to Colorado. All right, folks, when we return, the second half is coming up here from Cardinal Stadium. It's Rugby ATL. They're down by 4 against the home side, Old Glory.
A piece of momentum was on the side of the home team, the Old Glory of DC. So exciting to see these guys come together as a team because they had a slow start, penalties involved, put them down in the points category, but now they're back on top with that momentum, 21-17, as we welcome in the head coach of Old Glory, Andrew Douglas. What was it that turned? You started with a lot of penalties, put you guys in a bit of a hole, and now you're back on top getting that momentum.
I think it's simply just being able to hold on to the ball for longer periods of time and control that tempo of the game. When we play up speed and we get our breakdown work going, we look really, really good. And I think we just first turned us a bit frustrated with a few decisions and we let that get to us. And but it's great to see us build our way out of that adversity as well and turn it around that second 20. And I think similar message for this half. Defence is going really well, actually. Really, really pleased with the defensive systems we've got going, and just think we can hold the ball for periods of time. You know, that's our strength. We look good when we get continuity going.
Thanks, Coach, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Rhino Rugby, the official ball and technical training equipment supplier of Major League Rugby. Visit rhinorugby.com today for all your rugby needs. Talks, let's take a look at the first half. It started a little bit slow for both sides with some penalties, but the action came thick and fast after that.
Yeah, I think, Dan, right here, you see some of the ability of Jason Robertson and the attacking style of Old Glory. They can really carve you apart, and that man does a lot of damage, Frazier. Right here, a little miscue on the kickoff, usually so dangerous. And here it's turned into a 2-on-1 down the left flank. And then for the score. So a lot of momentum early on. As we talked about here, a little fortuitous bounce of the ball, play. Everyone a little frozen for half a second, and leads to an easy walk-in. The bulldozer on the wing there. Button on Schultz doing the hard yards. Good clear outs by the backs, and this is why the continuity works for these guys. Everyone's involved in good form, quick ball, among the best in the league.
Big 40 minutes coming up for both these sides. Their quest to climb the ladder in the Eastern Conference continues.
Okay, Jason,
Glory.
ready.
On the back of 3 wins on a row, would be knocking on the door of the Toronto Arrows with a bonus point win here tonight for Rugby ATL. They just want to get back into that top 3. As Heaton takes that just outside his 22. Coleman will clear. Again, probably the 4th or 5th kick tonight, Tolks, where he's hit DTS on the full.
And that's not what he wants. You know, he wants to, and they've been kicking down the middle of the field more or less this season and getting some bouncing balls. Those are easy to initiate counterattacks and counter kicks.
Leave it.
Tyler, slow ball. Finds Robinson at the back. Sossini. Robinson again as they play at the back. Oh,
it's a wrap.
Turnbull with a stray boot there. May have actually clipped Travis Larson.
Disadvantage in the poach, knock on in the poach.
Keep it tight. There's Fullerton.
Scrum advantage.
Wakalahai goes off in the first half as Palamo steps 1. Now
Manage
offloads
over.
Robinson. Little kick through. May have been played after he got that away. Old Glory forced to retreat back. Robinson flat pass, O'Donnell. A little bit of 7s there.
Absolutely. Moving from the standstill.
It's a little different when there's 8 extra players waiting for you, though.
Yeah, got him back, good.
Not surprisingly, Robinson will kick. Needs to find the grass. We'll find Talapusi instead. Martini Talapusi. That's a better kick from the fullback as he splits Fraser and Takara Simpson. Robinson again. This is where they'll pick up the yardage here. They keep finding these back 3 on the full. Van Skolkvik jinks his way towards the 22. Flat pass. Momsen. What a player he is for ATL. Coleman, big numbers here. The missile. Had Deacon to his left. Couldn't find him.
Miss.
O'Donnell
14,
offside.
Never onside.
Looking for the fortuitous steal there was O'Donnell, called offside. We'll come back for the penalty.
14, never onside.
Yeah, and that pressure is going to cause those penalties to come, and that's exactly what Scott Lawrence was talking about, you know, before the half. If they can get continuity and get continued pressure onto Old Glory, points would come. And that's exactly what they did coming out of the clubhouse.
There you saw O'Donnell never retreated. Back past the last man's feet. Right in front of Derek Summers as well.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that one.
Here we go.
You know, both fly halves play so flat to the line, so square up, and they're great playmakers. And that's why you're able to get the continuity both teams.
Yeah. Here it is, Alex, back here.
Well, see, we actually talked about this during the break talk. Fraser coming from the field now. He got hurt late in that first half, that big long run.
He took a big hit on that one, and he was down for quite a bit of time before halftime.
So he tried to go, couldn't go, and now they have to use a substitution. That one tips, comes down. Ayala Schultz. Tusitala, flat. Palamau. Also flat, Takata Simpson. Over the sideline he goes. They move that ball well, don't they, Tolkien?
They are hungry to play, but that's a mistake that Takata Simpson can't make, getting pushed out of bounds down there. You know, it gives, once again, continued pressure for Atlanta. And they dodged a bullet with that overthrown line out, but here they are again under the pump. But again,
Lost forward.
Get out of jail free card.
Yeah, Sassini now.
And over. Sorry.
See how fast Danny Tusitala likes to play this game. He is literally at the breakdown. And they're ready to go. This Atlanta's defense just not getting the reset and the line speed that they're accustomed to.
It's lightning quick ball here, Dan, and that's what's making it so hard to defend.
Schultz.
Yeah, leave.
Turnbull at the back, Robinson. O'Donnell. Oh, O'Donnell. It was a desperation tackle from Helu that brings him down. As Deacon, he turns it over the crowd. They're not happy with that call. Van Skolkveit goes wide, Talapusi. Coleman turns it back inside. Now Talapusi.
Get on, get on!
No score so far in the second half. As Rugby ATL get inside the 40, not releasing.
Over there. Hey, no
this
release.
will help. Coleman will be able to put this deep into the 22 here of Old Glory.
That was a great little run of play. You know, the energy level, the speed of play, the commitment by both teams. Really contested. I think Ross Deacon had every right for that ball. I think it was out. They didn't resource that ruck. And a good steal for him to break the momentum of Old Glory.
Billy Helu makes his way to the bench. Fuka.
Billy's father, a great Eagle in his day.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier.
Absolutely. So he comes from good stock.
Guys, hold the gap. Say that again.
Worked well out there at St. Mary's with Tim O'Brien, one of the leading coaches in college rugby here.
Absolutely.
Great guy too, OB. Won a few championships with Old Mary's, and he's got to be sitting back watching this league. So many of his players scattered throughout the league.
No, he's all right, it's all right. Hey, this one from the side.
Probably get free tickets to any of the teams. I'm trying to think, he may have one nearly at every team.
I think you could be right there. He's getting close, so when he finally retires, he can come around.
Taking out the player.
If you want tickets and they won't give you them, give me a call, OB. I'll hook you up.
Number 8, yeah.
No teams out in San Francisco for him, though. You'd have to travel. Meet me in Seattle.
Yeah.
And Dan, throughout the season, this has been a trouble period of time for Old Glory. Third period, they've let up the most points and scored the fewest. So, not sure what it is about this period, but it's one that they have to weather, and they haven't started it off well tonight.
Juggle from Momsen there, brings it down. Maul is set. It's Morn at the back. Oh, this is strong work from ATL. Strong work from ATL. The rattlesnake, it's coiled and it strikes and it's Morn. 5 points for Atlanta.
And again, those penalties are leading to tries here. And again, they start the half off with that energy in the maul, drive it right over, and they're back in business.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. That's good work. That's good work. Okay. Yeah.
Dan, if we have a look at it here, they're right into it. They're very consolidated. Ball's well protected and organized. So Old Glory is going to really have trouble stopping this one. And there they move it to the weaker side of the defensive maul, put it over. Very clinical on that execution. You know, just going back for a moment to how teams come out and how certain periods are good or bad. You know, there could be various reasons for it, but I've always found that it's usually reflected in how you train and the structure of your trainings. And bad periods usually reflect times that you're more static, standing around, could be units. And the better periods are more reflective of energetic moments in your practice. So
conversion successful. 24-21, 3-point ball game. Take one last look at it, just like you draw it up on Monday night, right?
100%, and that's been their go-to tonight for scoring.
Let's score downstairs. Rugby Atlanta 24, your DC Old Glory 21.
Just one system pushing towards the line there, Morn. He gets the rewards, but 7 teammates in there helping him.
Forward,
minimum.
advantage.
Thompson. Great run.
Advantage over.
Now the try scorer in Morn. All the way to his 40. Coleman to the line. Momsen with another touch. We talk about players, we talk about Mungo Mason, the engine he has. How about Momsen? As Mungo Mason almost intercepts that.
He was going the distance if he got that one, held on to it. What I like about the referee, we've had a couple of these near intercepts, but he's called the right call. They're a legitimate attempt at catching the ball, and he's not giving penalties. Sometimes you see that, you know, it's an automatic penalty and even a card, but not the case in this game tonight. Good refereeing.
Well, I think Mungo Mason was almost a little surprised that ball came to him. He was already in the line.
I think he was looking at the post at that point.
Stay square, stay square. Hold your weight, yeah? All right. Crouch. Bind. Set. Let's play it. Let's play it.
Go.
Yeah.
Offside. Offside.
I think he could have called a number of things there. You can't kick the ball out of a guy's hand, and I'm not sure it was coming in, still in his hand or coming out, but he was certainly offsides. And again, I think more good refereeing. That scrum went down, but it went down under its own pressure. It wasn't a penalty, and sometimes you get those calls, and it's not actually a penalty. So he played it out, and that was good. But Danny Tusitala had other plans as it came out, and again, good attacking position.
More changes coming in here for Rugby ATL as Gleason and Keys make their way out into the field.
On,
51 minutes gone. 3-point ball game.
Okay. So you grab that. Time on. Hold there. Blue, hold.
One comes down for ATL. And Skogvik. Flat pass. Still with ATL. Bill Fuka. Kick over the top fence. Skogvik needs the bounce. Doesn't get it. Robinson scoots back. Does well to maintain possession too. He was under a lot of pressure there from ATL.
Oh. I think Niquali got away with one there.
And that's the missile again. He's been involved in a lot of this chippy stuff tonight, Tolks. The missile, playing with a little bit of attitude. That one charged down.
22.
We'll go back to the 22. Smart play there from Robertson. He'll go quickly too. Play on.
It's onside. Play on. Play on.
He really pushes the envelope there, Dan. He wants to play it all the time.
And DTS turns back the clock with the torpedo. Nothing end over end. Nothing fancy about that. Back to the halcyon days. They'll get the stitched leather ball out in a second, Togs.
And I'm glad you brought that up. He is the only guy in the league who does that.
He had success with it last year at the altitude of Denver. I'm not sure if he was going to bring it with him to the sea level of DC, but there it is. Timeout. We'll go down listening to Derek Summers here.
Time off. I'm not a penalty here. You come here. You come here. Listen, I understand you're frustrated.
Do you understand what?
Yes, I understand you're frustrated, but you can't do that. You understand me?
Okay.
Yeah? Control your emotions. I'll take care of them. I'm going to keep you on the field.
Yeah.
If you do stuff like that, you're out of control.
Totally.
All right?
Always in control.
I'll watch the blocking. Yes, I'll watch the blocking.
I would say a little difference of opinion there.
Time's off.
Mungo is very
Set penalty.
diplomatic
Give
there.
off the ball,
I think he had
push.
some other thoughts from the referee.
Boys, tidy up. Relax, okay?
And as we've seen already tonight, Togs, penalty in your half against Old Glory usually results in Atlanta points. That is a great kick from Coleman.
Beauty of a kick. He's put it right where Atlanta wants it. And DC are under the pump again. It seems this whole half so far that they've been back near their goal line,
Use the 5
retreating.
Here, use the 5. If you can see what Jake,
The other thing about Coleman, he's been pressing the line. He's seeking gaps and he's getting close. You might see him break one of these.
He was out of rugby for almost 2 years with a knee injury, so he's got the resume, but as you know, if you're not using the tools, they can get a little rusty, so he's working his way back into form. I think we'll see more and more.
What do you want? Scrub the line out. Scrub,
And that throw just went a little askew there, so Old Glory dodges a bullet again.
Careful with the dummy jump, okay? Dummy jump. Here we go.
Let's go, loose ball.
Crouch.
You don't want Fiona Schultz to get off the back here really quickly. The scrum has been going backwards all night.
We talked about Doug Frazier coming out of the game. Not a bad substitute to come and take your place off the bench. Renato Roberts-Tanana standing there at the right wing. Dangerous runner.
The son of Sevens legend Carl Tanana.
I believe was in LA.
I think he's in Vancouver this week. Yeah, up at the Sevens in Canada. He's a regular on the Sevens circuit with Sean Maloney. I think most people are pretty familiar with Sean's work with Fox down in Australia.
Hopefully he gets to see his son play during his visit to North America.
It's the time change. It's 3 hours, so they might be still going out there, Togs.
No, you're taking it down, you're just messing with it on the far side.
And that is, that's massive. That free kick takes the scrum out of the equation for them. Will give them a chance off the boot.
A second break for DC.
Really push.
And Jason Robertson gets him some nice breathing room up around the 40. And here we see it on the left side. Looks like he dropped his bind there, but didn't hear the explanation except for the far side.
You gotta love rugby when the maul goes down. Togs and players from both sides putting their hands in the air, screaming at the referee, "Sir!"
Tackle, let go,
One or the other.
Get on side.
ATL.
Good, good.
Coleman goes out the back, picks up Coughlin. Coughlin needs to get to ground here. Old Glory doing a good job of holding him up, keeps the legs pumping under the attention from Hearn.
Let it come, let it come! Let it come! Sorry. All right.
Fuka. He takes it up towards the 22. Coleman flat Deacon, half gap. Heaton turns it into a full gap. They go again. Fuka. Flat pass, Coughlin breaks the tackle, but coming for the obstruction. And this is what Mungo Mason was talking to the referee about. These blocking lines are getting very dangerous. And this time, Summers right on the spot and calls the penalty.
And good on Derek Summers for seeing that, because it can be tricky to find sometimes, but exactly right. See the blocking line right there.
It's a good play from Hearn too, veteran play. Engages the contact and makes sure he goes down.
There's no doubt that contact was made on him from his standpoint. I'll tell you what, Dan, just looking at, I know I talked about Coleman having some little darts. If he can get a runner inside of him, he's causing the defense to drift so much off him, to cover him. I think there's some room there to attack that space.
That's Harley Davidson, Xander Van Skolkwijk. That blind winger needs to be following him across field.
And those guys can do some damage if they get their hands on the ball in space.
Now Larson, they come back the other way. Tusitala loops. Ricardo Simpson, this is where he's at his best. Flips that one back inside. Look at the speed. Roberts Tanana turns it back to Tusitala. Forget everything else. That's your try of the week right there, Major League Rugby. And Old Glory, they're back in front.
Spectacular try, Dan. Wow. Some pace certainly injected into that line. And the perfect support line by Danny Tusitala on the inside. Beautiful to watch. Just a little wrap around here.
Here we go. Jason, here we go.
DTS breaking through. And there you have the man we just talked about, Roberts Tanana.
I can sort of hear, but I can't really.
What a stride on that young man.
Okay?
And for all the scrum halves, that is your support line, right along the inside.
Well, I hope his dad did get a chance to watch that one, because bring a tear to your eye watching the young fella do that. Beautiful stuff from him. DTS as well. Tusitala started it with that looping run. He finished it as well. Like you said, Tox, great support line down the field. And they retake the lead 28-24. We're going to take a short break here from Cardinal Stadium. When we return, the second half continues. We have a cliffhanger, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's Major League Rugby on CBS Sports. About 20 minutes left to play here as Coleman restarts the action. O'Donnell. Come flat. Mason.
Good.
They look to clear here. Robinson deep in the pocket.
Inside.
Tusitala goes instead. Inside his 22, finds the sideline. That's a great box kick from Tusitala from there.
Oh, you're inside.
Fantastic. That's textbook stuff, Dan. Clearing his line, getting up close to midfield and to touch. Just allows them to regather.
Blue. Blue.
I tell you, Tokes, trying to get these two sides separated at the line out for Derek Summers, like building sandcastles at low tide. Every time he moves them, the water just comes in and washes that tunnel away.
It's like trying to tell your kids to go to bed when they're young. It's not going to happen.
Here we go, Coleman. Tipped over. Let's go down to Stacey Pate. Stacey, what's going on down there?
Oh my gosh, so much is going on down here. First of all, my excitement level is to the moon right now, which is a full moon, by the way. If you look up, it's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous night for rugby. Watching these two expansion teams play makes me very happy because first, that speaks to the growth of the MLR. And Coach Tolkien, you know what it's like to coach an expansion team, having been with Rooney, and the pressure that comes with having a young team, an inexperienced team, and without Tendai tonight, Old Glory also loses a little bit of that experience on the pitch, but they are really playing together as a unit. That is so huge for this young team, trying to find its way, finding that continuity. How do you think they're able to do that, Coach? Does it help that they have the crowd on their back, which, by the way, is huge here in DC, which is also beautiful to watch, or do you think it's just something that comes internally?
Not straight.
I think it's their ethos. They are attacking at every stage of the game. Their intent is to run, attack, and the crowd love it. And it's causing all kinds of problems tonight, Stacey.
The crowd does love it, and it's exciting to hear them really get involved. And this is one of the other franchises that draws crowds by the numbers. If you hear them, they're going to be loud all night long. They stomp their feet, they clap their hands, they've got little chants that they do. It's just so exciting for the league, and just speaks to the love of the sport and how it's growing in the U.S. And I love seeing it. It makes me so happy.
Well, Stacey, you know they've suffered through the Washington Redskins for the last 20 years, so the DC people, they're hungry for a winner. Capitals just won. I shouldn't be too harsh on DC. Ball at the back. Big Bill Fuka goes for a run. Now Van Skogvik finds Coleman in the middle. Pass out the back. Solanalu. Talapusi, that one stripped free, it looked like. Did it spill forward though? No, he kept that ball in hand. Good work there from Talapusi. But Skogvik. Coughlin. Oh, big contact comes in. That's a great shot. On Gleason. Now Davidson. Scored a try early, Harley Davidson. They've contained him pretty well. Talapusi, they can't contain him. He's 10 out from the line now. ATL and Coleman go wide. Defense shoots up.
Sorry. Lead blue, you're off your feet. Good.
Down the short side. Solanalu. They come to the middle again. Gleason.
Not held. Not held.
Big dummy. Van Skogvik.
Banks lost forward.
And he spilt that one forward on the offload too. Tolks, you mentioned about Coleman having runners on the inside. Both scrum halves are going to start looking for those tied forwards at the breakdown now as well.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of those forwards being a little tired, but also worried about that break by Coleman. So here we see the big dummy, as you talked about, almost through. Caught by his ankles. So just little creaks there, Dan, are coming in.
Connor Keys for Rugby ATL, the man unable to handle that pass from Van Skogvik. As we have time off. Looks like Robinson getting some attention for Old Glory. Well, tomorrow, starting at 6 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, College Hoops Conference Tournament roll on as we head out to the nation's capital for the Colonial Athletic Association's semi-finals, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now, caught the game on CBS on Saturday, Tolks. The Florida-Kentucky Wildcats coming back late over the Gators. 18-point deficit.
Entertaining game for sure. The loose head chance when Gluski has come off. I believe that's James Ferrant who's come on from East Moriches, Long Island. Not too far from me.
There you go, just a stone's throw. Crowd coming alive here. Stacey Pates mentioned that. Great turnout. Talking to one of the owners, Paul Sheehy, earlier, said very close to a sellout in pre-sales, expected another 500 at kickoff, and it looks to me, Tolks, not a lot of empty seats here. So,
Old Glory do really well in their walk-up sales on game day, and like you said, the stands are full, they're loud. A really great crowd. One other thing that Paul Sheehy does and the ownership and Old Glory, they love and support youth rugby. And you always see mini rugby being played before, after. It's really special. I think if those guys are watching Old Glory play tonight,
Crouch!
Really be inspired to play some running rugby.
Bind! Pre-engage. Pre-engage.
And another free kick. I know Old Glory will probably take free kicks all night at the scrum if they can, Togs.
You know, Dan, coming into this game, you know, we talked about the advantage that Atlanta would have in the scrum. But they've actually been penalized quite a bit as well. You know, I think they're right behind Old Glory in the league in terms of scrum penalties. So they haven't all sorted it out yet either.
Step over. Step over.
Come up. Come up.
Going over the back, but play on. Sassini can't handle. Oh, I think he's a little hard done by there on that knock on Sassini. I thought he tapped that one back. He was right on the 40. And the crowd, they're giving it to referee Derek Summers as well. Not happy with that one.
I thought I saw a little tip there, but we'll have a look at it again.
Again, they look at this one where it goes over the back. Oh, that's really hard done by.
It's tough. It's tough.
That way, that way, that way.
Michael, now, Michael.
Crouch! Bind! Hold the gap. Set!
2, 3, 4.
Look at this. Oh, Glory. Look at this.
Wow.
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 You know
we thought all of the running rugby and the long tries was getting this crowd excited. We haven't heard it as loud a cheer as that one tonight.
Jason, over here.
Well, you push a bunch of forwards and you put their backs up against the wall and you tell them their scrum's no good week after week, and then they stand up. The fans appreciate it too. That's a massive scrum.
And you know what, one of the things you saw on that one that made it effective, it's the 8-man shove. You saw both flankers and the 8-man driving. They weren't picking their heads up and bailing out, but they committed to the full drive of that.
Get that throw for me, mate. All right, here we go. On the line, yeah?
On the line.
Yeah.
On the line, Keith.
Again, stolen. Woes at the line out. Fuka. Now Heaton.
Boys, you're not on your feet. Can't take it.
I think he made one extra little crawl there. You know, you get tackled, you're allowed one little crawl, and then you got to get it back. We'll have a look at it here. Goes down.
Shot a goal.
It just went a little extra.
Yeah, good call. And now a chance for 3 points here for Robinson. Right on the 40-meter line in front of the post. Up by 4. This would take them out to a converted try.
And in the last out-of-town score tonight, we'll have a spoiler alert in case you're taping the game or watching it later. New York is leading San Diego 13-10 in the first half.
Flags go up. You can tell it's a good one when the kicker picks up the tee straight away. Robinson, he was never in doubt that was splitting the uprights.
Struck that one well, as he does so often.
Yeah.
Now we're open to a one-try game, so a little more breathing room.
Oh, great take from Kieran Hearn there as he goes high, the Canadian veteran.
Leave, Jamie, leave.
Tusitala Back to Robinson. They'll play territory. Comes down to Coleman. Coleman. Wide pass to Talapusi. Missilanalu. It's a missile. He's brought down on his own 40. Coleman out the back. Coughlin. Coughlin. They move from one side to the other. Don't pick up any ground though.
Hold.
That's a better run there for Atlanta as Gleason was able to bust through the first line of defense. Now Dam goes for a run. They play quick down the short side. Davidson. Still going, Harley Davidson. We've seen him like a little pinball wizard.
Really keeps those lines moving, doesn't he, Dan?
They go short. Heaton. Close to the sideline. They come to the right. Coughlin, little opening. Mason. And Turnbull looks like. What a shift for Jake Turnbull. 71 minutes, the front row is still out in the field.
Wait, he's in front, but you have to roll away. He's in front, but you got to roll.
That's a big penalty here too.
It is.
Roll away.
And there, the reason he didn't let it go through the advantage, if you were wondering why he didn't let him on his way to score, he picked it up while being in front of the ball. You can't do that. But Old Glory is penalized for not rolling away from that tackle, so here you have Atlanta right back on the goal line. And
watch this clean out come in here from Kisitala. How many scrum halves you know hit like this? Boom.
It's once.
Well, stop once. Now they have to keep this thing rolling. Morn with one try, just like this already. Looking for his second. Morn, close. Over he gets. There it is, number 2 for Morn. And we have a tied ball game if this kick is successful. What a finish we've got in front of us, Tox.
It's going to be a great final period of play. Here you see when Atlanta do get their lineouts in order, the maul is really effective, as we talked about last week. They were effective against Toronto. Again, when they bring it down, they're very hard to stop.
Penalize you. He's pushing the margin. I don't want to have to penalize it again. When you're on the ground, just place it. Don't crawl.
Can I release it?
Sure, sure. If you get up. Have a word to Alex, okay? Yeah. Cheers.
Right there, never really any doubt. And at this point, Old Glory just diving in there on the side, but it was over already.
He did really well there, Morn, because at one point it looked like it broke down. He was going to his left, Tolks, it kind of stopped, and he did really good to kind of work back to his right and find that opening to dive over. His second try of the night.
Yeah, it's really important to have that composure at the back of the maul. You know, you can panic and break away, and that's the last thing you want to do, especially when it's under control.
Big kick here for Coleman. Flag stay down. Unsuccessful. The Iceman off the tee. He misses a critical kick. 31-29. 6.5 minutes left on the clock here at Cardinal Stadium. Old Glory. Can they hold on? The way these sides have attacked, I don't think we're quite done with the scoring tonight, Tox.
No, with the way they're running, 6.5 minutes is an eternity.
This will find the ground. Oh, beautiful bounce for Old Glory, though, as it sits up. DTS. O'Donnell goes high. Davidson's underneath it. Looks to split through the middle, Davidson. They come down the short side, the missile, unmarked. Oh, he puts a foot on the sideline there, the missile.
Well, you saw that he was aware of it and tried to get it in, but just a second too late. And it's a tough turnover at this time.
Go there.
Micah Sassini also still on the field.
Stay there.
The front row tonight for Old Glory. Earning the keep. Comes now to Brown. Houston. Mason. Playing that looping play all night with Tuzitala. Decided to hold that one, hoping it would open up.
I think, Dan, if they wanted to consolidate it a little bit, they can go up the middle. Atlanta's really spreading from the rucks and leaving that space up the middle. We have a penalty here.
Well, he's got Bill Fuka for a chop tackle here. A yellow card. 4.5 minutes left. That's a big one to go against Atlanta there, and they'll take a shot. And this will take, you would think, close to 2.5, perhaps 3 minutes off the clock, depending on how long Robinson can take to tie up his boots, get his socks right, make sure his jersey looks good. You know, a good kicker knows how to drag this out.
Well, you kickers know it.
So he's got him there, dangerous low diving tackle at the lower part of the legs.
Yeah, he had no wrap on that, and it's a dangerous play. No doubt from Derek Summers.
So unless we have something crazy like last night in Seattle, that is game over for Fuka. He's 10 minutes. But as we saw last night in Seattle, Seattle had their yellow card come back at the 86th minute, 6 minutes past the finish of the game there, Togs.
I've never seen that before. I don't think that you have either. Not many would have.
I think there was a Six Nation game a few years ago where it happened. There was a late card and there was a goal line stand that went on forever and ever and ever. And someone will let me know what it was. Robinson now. Take it back to 5 points. We didn't hit that well. Crowd. Didn't even have to look at the ball. The crowd knew straight off the tee.
Yeah, you could tell right off the bat. Didn't sound good. Didn't look good. But they'll still get the ball back. A man up and time dwindling down.
Coleman very deep. Don't be surprised if Robinson returns fire here. He does with the feet. Still playing high energy. Mason. Koala. I'd like to take a look at Mungo Mason's GPS stats after a game like this, Togs.
He puts in a massive shift week in and week out. He's so valuable to this team and their success.
Oh, pressure from Palamu. Sorry, Togs. O'Donnell does so well, as does Sassini. DTS on the flick. One pass too many. Will come back for the penalty, though. You would think they're down by 2 points the way they threw that ball around.
They don't stop. They just have attack on their minds, and they're going to go for it.
I don't think so. Okay. This is a late hit.
They could have gone in for no wrap as well. Looks like Davidson kind of shelled himself up at the end there and didn't make an attempt to wrap on O'Donnell.
I think he, right on the tackle, tried to pull out, but it was too late. He already had committed it.
Here it is.
Here we see it. No brainer calling that.
Here we go. 2 minutes to play here. Oh, Glory.
It's close. It's close.
3, 2, 1, 7.
Well, it didn't go the way they planned, but it works out for Brown.
They caught a break there.
And now, can they wind this clock out? 2 minutes to hold on to the ball.
Last foot here. Hands up. Hands
They're
up.
at the right part of the field.
Good, good. Yeah, Jamie, you
Any penalties at this point from ATL? You would think Robinson could soak up the time left on the clock. Oh, truck and trailer getting in front of the player there. Now Coleman with a chance to drive this ball extremely deep. It's a great angle for Coleman.
He goes for it.
That's play on. That's extremely good work from Robinson. Extremely good work. And they kick back. Talapusi picks up the missile.
Wow, Dan, what a play.
Coleman to the line, can't get free. Davidson down the short side now with the balls. He bumps off. Tusitale comes again at him.
Tackle, let go, tackle!
Finds the ground. The tension here at Cardinal Stadium. Building the home side. Can they hold on? The crowd willing them. ATL, Talapusi. Slow ball, Coleman. Momsen. How is he still standing, Momsen? Coleman. Will he do it all himself? That one, flat. And goal flag. Now here comes the danger. You're in a kickable area for Coleman. Momsen. Any penalties here? Oh, goes against ATL. And Old Glory. Looks like side entry.
Side entry it is.
Don't. You have to tap and kick. Just do it on the mark, please. Just let's do it clean here. Do it clean. Right here. Go back 10, please.
What a finish to this one. Side entry against ATL.
Wow. I'll tell you what, then ATL was really pushing the envelope there. They were getting a lot of space on the edges.
No, we're sorting this man down. You all right? You okay?
And you must enter that ruck from that imaginary gate right behind.
There we go. Yeah, kick it. Correct. We're just sorting the injured man over there. Yeah, it's all right. Tap and then kick it out. Yeah, you know. There we go.
And Robertson makes no mistake as he goes over the sideline. It's a home side victory as Old Glory hold on 31-29 over Rugby ATL. ATL in possession, Talks, at the end of the game with a chance to either draw a penalty or score a try to take the win. And then that entry at the ruck.
Dan, what a spectacular game. Spectacular game. We saw some beautiful tries. We saw good defense. And we saw a close, tight game.
Oh, 100%.
And
great call from Derek Summers. He's in he's got no other option there but to blow that.
No. And it's the right call, and it's unfortunate for Rugby ATL to lose it that way.
We'll take a short break. We'll return our player of the match from Cardinal Stadium. Old Glory. They run out 2-point winners, 31-29 over Rugby ATL. Here we go, 31-29. It's Old Glory. We're going to go down to Stacey Pates with our player of the match, Denny Tusitala.
I was able to catch up with a couple of the guys that were instrumental in this win. A huge win protecting their home pitch. And Jason, let's start with you. In what ways did this win meet a lot of your expectations?
Well, we've been working really hard. We had a tough start, lost down in New Orleans, but we've been building since then, and we're getting better and better each week. And we love playing at home. We love putting out a good performance here, and yeah, I was really proud of the boys.
Such a great performance in front of this crowd that loves you guys clearly. Wanting to be called Tiger, so Tiger, come on in here. Tell me about, there were aspects of the game where you guys made it a little difficult for yourselves. Talk us through that.
I think probably in patches in the game we played a little bit too much behind our own half, which caused a lot of problems and which, obviously Atlanta converted into points, which put us under pressure. So we're just taking a lot of learnings from that, and luckily enough we came out with a win and we managed to finish it off there.
They did not make it easy for you guys. I know you both are spent, but what are some things that need to be minimized now heading into your next match?
Definitely our penalty count. We're giving away a lot of penalties and giving teams really good opportunities to score against us. So if we can cut out those penalties, we'll give teams less opportunities to score against us.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time so much. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, 31-29 is the final here. Old Glory protecting their home pitch, getting a massive victory against Rugby ATL. Back with more after this.
Second, we are back with more Major League Rugby as we head out to Marietta, Georgia for a battle between Rugby ATL and the New England Free Jacks, only on CBS Sports Network. Great performance tonight from Old Glory to get the win over Rugby ATL. Tolch, final thoughts on the match?
Old Glory's played some bold rugby. Their forwards hung in there and played tough, and the defense actually came through. They've been playing much better since the first week on defense.
And that wraps things up from Washington, D.C. From Mike Tolkien, Stacey Pates, I'm Dan Power. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.